And this evening, we are also privileged to worship together with one of the great and wonderful man I know who loves Africa and support African affairs, religion, and more especially, he loves God. And he is also a businessman, a politician, a family man. And tonight he is with us. I'd like to recognize your presence. This is a wonderful man, Floyd Zuma, all the way from South Africa. Allow me just to ask you to wave the church.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 360 experience with myself, Thomas Maba. So guys, this is going to be a quick one. I don't want to lie. Do you remember that time when the Secretary General of the MK Party, Floyd Zuma, went to Malawi to meet with the so-called Shepherd Bushiri? Do you guys remember the outrage that followed that? The fact that the Secretary General of the MK Party went to Malawi to meet with a criminal, to meet with a fugitive, a man that has been accused of numerous crimes. But in his defense, the supporters of the MK Party went out and said that Floyd Zuma went to Malawi in his own personal capacity. Floyd Zuma did not go to Malawi to meet with Bushiri on the behest of Jacob Zuma or the MK Party. This is what the supporters of the MK Party said. But this is a narrative that was driven by the supporters of the MK Party, that Floyd Zuma going to Malawi has nothing to do with the MK Party. It has nothing to do with the President Jacob Zuma. And guys, let me remind you of the statement that was released by the MK Party after Floyd Zuma went to Malawi to meet with that criminal. And that statement said, the unauthorized party wishes to distance itself from the recent visit by our Secretary General to the ECG church led by the self-proclaimed Prophet Bushiri in Malawi. The party wishes to make it very clear that this visit was not sanctioned, endorsed, or initiated by the leadership or any official structure of the MK Party. The Secretary General undertook this visit in his own personal capacity and without the mandate and knowledge of the party. Listen to that line, guys. The Secretary General undertook that visit in his own personal capacity and without the mandate or knowledge of the party. The statement continues to say that unauthorized party upholds the rule of law and maintains a zero tolerance on stance on criminality in all forms. When in an unprecedented case, President Jacob Zuma was sent to prison without a trial under the Roman Dutch law, he did not flee from justice but was incarcerated and served his time, even though it was a miscarriage of justice and violation of his human rights. We remain firmly opposed to any association with individuals who are fugitives from the justice. Our values are rooted in integrity, justice, and accountability, and we reject any actions that compromises the reputation and the ethical standing of our movement. This is a statement that was released by the MK Party. So everybody basically thought that, okay, maybe Floyd Zuma going to Malawi, he went there in his own personal capacity. It basically has nothing to do with the MK Party, or it has nothing to do with Jacob Zuma. But guys, I did say when I reported about this that there is no way that Floyd Zuma can go to Malawi, knowing very well how controversial that trip was going to be, without the knowledge of Jacob Zuma. But his supporters, they kept defending him. They kept defending the MK Party to say that he did not go there on the behest of Jacob Zuma or on the behest of the MK Party. But Floyd Zuma recently did an interview on Newsroom Live, and he was questioned about this issue of going to Malawi to meet with the so-called Prophet Bushiri. And Floyd Zuma made it very clear that it would be insane to actually assume that he would go to Malawi without the knowledge of Jacob Zuma. Basically that he went to Malawi with the knowledge of Jacob Zuma, despite the MK Party coming out and saying that the Secretary General went to Malawi on his own personal capacity without the mandate or knowledge of the party. But Floyd Zuma basically contradicted the supporters of the MK Party. He contradicted the MK Party itself, because the party released a statement saying that no, this is an outrage. How can Floyd Zuma do that? Guys, This is why I say that you must never trust the politicians. And I find it quite weird that there are still people in this country that are taking politicians so seriously. So this is a video. I'm going to play you a video, guys, of Floyd Zuma basically telling everybody that he went to Malawi and Jacob Zuma knew about it. I wonder what the MK party are going to say right now. I wonder what the supporters of the MK party are going to say. And guys, after this video, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Maba, so I will see you next time. Bye bye. Enjoy.
Let's talk about how you would characterize right now your relationship with the leader of the MK party, President Jacob Zuma. I mean, how are things there? Are you in the dog box after visiting Shepherd Bushiri in Malawi? I mean, the Daily Maverick is reporting that you're at odds with the leaders, and you claimed that he'd given you his blessing.
No, look, do you know, as a Secretary General and like all other Secretaries General and provincial secretaries and regional secretaries would do, there is nothing which I do without informing the president. There is no political program that I engage myself in without making the president aware. And there is no decision that I communicate to the membership of MK and externally without the president knowing.
So he was aware prior to you getting on a plane and going to Malawi. I want us to be specific about that.
Yeah, let me be specific about that. So when we went to the inauguration of the president of Namibia, yes, Comrade Triple N, she's known as Triple N, in Namibia. So after the inauguration, when we were now at the tables where they were serving lunch after the official inauguration, I did say that we were sitting with former President Joyce Banda and the former President Masisi of Botswana. So Joyce Banda is the former president of Malawi.
Yes.
And then the incumbent president, the deputy president of Malawi called Michael Usi. And they both kept on saying that we want to have engagement with MK. And the president says that the Secretary General is here. He must interact through the Secretary General. If there's going to be further engagement, let's have through the Secretary General. I then went to Malawi during the Easter weekend for political engagements with former President Joyce Banda and current Deputy President Michael Usi. There's elections in Malawi in September.
Yes.
So there were discussions about a variety of issues which are not due for public communication in terms of the approach of the Malawi question. But that was primarily the whole thing. And one thing which I never apologized on and I will never apologize on is when I went to see Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and then he said, let's go to church. I said, I will go to church. I'm like those who say that I am glad when they say unto you, let us go into the house of the Lord. I'm compliant.
Despite the concerns of him evading arrest and what that means for the MK party and what it stands for and constitutionalism and upholding the rule of law.
I honestly
I mean, those are genuine. You can admit those were genuine concerns, right?
No, I think they were misplaced actually. Like I think there was just there was just unnecessary misplaced exuberance around it because I'm not responsible for law enforcement in South Africa, one, but two, as a matter of fact, there is no court ruling in Malawi within the criminal justice system that links both countries that has instructed that he must be deported to South Africa. If there was such, he would be hiding in Malawi, then that would have made him a fugitive. But currently there is no such because I said in one other interview that if anything, the Malawian government provides security through the state to Prophet Shepherd Bushiri in terms of what he does. There are so many projects that is involved in there which is supported by government and in full collaboration with the government. And the South African government is fully aware of that. It has got nothing to do with me. And you know, going to religious institutions is a personal choice of anyone who can do. I go to so many religious institutions. I go to even religious institutions whose faith I don't associate with. for different reasons that we have to do, and we have to listen to different people. But I attended the Jesus Nation Church in Malawi because I had to listen to the sermon on the Easter weekend of 2025, and I don't think that there was anything wrong with that. Like, if South African government
even from
wants,
an optics perspective, yes?
Yeah, if South African government is looking for Shepherd Bushiri, they know what process to follow, and doesn't have to do anything with Floyd. There's no Floyd Shivambu who is going to enforce any law, because I do not have the permissibility and the constitutional or legal legislative right to could enforce any law in South Africa.